From makeovers that started with Gordon trying out some of the most disgusting food he'd ever been served on the show.
Even she'd managed to throw that up. That sauce is hideous, and the shrimp was tough as old boots. And the flies are landing on me as opposed to on the shrimp.
To owners so stubborn that even after their food made Gordon sick, they'd still rather shut their doors than change a single recipe.
Can I get you anything? No?
A sick bag.
Here's what happened to the restaurants that served Gordon Ramsay disgusting food. Starting with Bonapartes in Silsden, England. The owner, Sue, had only bought the place about a year earlier, and she'd never run a restaurant before. And because she had so little experience and struggled to bring in customers, she was barely making enough money to keep the doors open.
How many did you have in for lunch?
About 2.
2, ready.
That's it.
And last night?
Last night, I think we did only 2 again. That's all.
The situation at Bonapartes was dire, and the kitchen, which should have been the heart of the restaurant, was running with just 2 people trying to handle everything on their own. Gordon's first move to help Bonapartes was to fix the fine dining experience by giving the restaurant a standout dish that it could actually be known for. He asked head chef Tim to cook his signature dish, hoping it would be strong enough to earn a permanent spot on the new fine dining menu Bonapartes was supposed to build its reputation on. Instead, that signature plate turned into one of the most spectacular cooking disasters the show has ever seen.
He's only gone and given me a rancid scallop.
How can you eat that?
Oh.
If you knew they were off,
I
why
didn't.
didn't you say?
No, I didn't. I didn't know they were off.
Head chef Tim has served scallops that were so rancid that they almost gave Gordon actual food poisoning.
Took a while till now. I know what it means. I feel sick myself now.
I could kill someone. That's the bottom line.
After that unfortunate incident and the apparent incompetence, Gordon decided to inspect the fridge, only to find more carnage.
It looks like rabbit shit, that one.
It's just some lentils.
Oh, this one's stuck to the f***ing glass. Yeah, it looks like sheep's turd that's been infested with ants.
This whole kitchen is disgustingly filthy. In allowing things to fester, Tim's putting Sue's business at risk.
After nearly making Gordon seriously ill with rancid scallops, the kitchen at Bonapartes finally started to turn around, and head chef Tim was actually sending out good food to satisfied customers. However, when Gordon dropped by unannounced just a month later, he discovered that Sue had already given Tim 2 written warnings for his behavior, and the kitchen had slipped right back into its old habits.
My God almighty. What is that shit in there? There's mould and fur. Dear oh dear, so you haven't changed, have you?
After the show aired, Sue spoke out, saying she was very bitter about the experience. Gordon returned to Silsden to see her, but Sue declined an on-camera interview with Chef Ramsay.
Finally, I get hold of Sue. She's agreed to meet me. But when I turn up, she decides she doesn't want the camera.
This was followed by a lengthy diatribe against Gordon Ramsay, alleging that he and the Kitchen Nightmares crew faked some scenes, most notably the dirty kitchen. Sue made a libel lawsuit over her claims, but lost. Gordon and his production crew received £75,000 in damages and an apology from the London Evening Standard, which is where the article was published. Soon after the episode aired, Bonapartes ended up closing its doors in 2005, which wasn't exactly shocking given Sue's inexperience and the issues with the food and hygiene. After that, the location didn't stay a restaurant for long and was converted into a bar under new ownership.
I don't know, actually. I heard they've just converted it to a bar, actually.
Gordon survived the infamous scallop incident, but Bonapartes did not. Unfortunately, closure seems to be a trend, because this next restaurant also shut its doors, which is even more embarrassing considering the production team literally paid for them to succeed. The old neighborhood was exactly what its name suggested, an old-school, long-time local spot. Owners Alexa and Randy first met while working at the old neighborhood as servers during their college years, and they eventually made their dream of owning a restaurant come true when they bought this establishment in 1988.
Servers during their college years. They fulfilled a dream when they bought the eatery in 1988.
Randy and Alexa had owned the old neighborhood for more than 25 years, but for well over half that time, the restaurant had been slowly declining. And according to the staff, one of the biggest problems dragging it down was the completely over-the-top ridiculous menu.
We have teriyaki steak, we have beef wontons, we also have trout parmesan burritos, Cajun catfish, duck schnitzel. It's really weird.
And another problem was the decor, which made the place feel less like a living, modern restaurant and more like a dusty blast from the past.
And it's not only the menu that's out of control, it's the decor. Welcome to Grandma's house.
With the old neighborhood going downhill, Randy and Alexa had racked up a huge amount of debt. But it wasn't just their livelihood on the line anymore.
My wife and I are in debt to the tune of about $320,000.
Something drastic is going to give. Us, our relationship, this restaurant, we can't keep going like this.
When Gordon arrived at the old neighborhood, he couldn't help but call out the decor, specifically saying,
Looks like a pile of junk. Right.
And while he was still trying to decide what to order, Gordon had to swat away flies buzzing around the table, which already told him a lot about the restaurant's standards. And when his New Orleans barbecue shrimp finally arrived, the dish was so bad that after just one bite, he physically couldn't keep it down.
Mate, that sauce is hideous, and the shrimp as tough as old booze. And the flies are landing on me as opposed to on the shrimp.
After dealing with flies, crumbling decor, and a parade of weird, cream-heavy, and flat-out nasty dishes, Gordon finally sat Randy and Alexa down for a serious talk. He called out both the quality of the food and the state of the dining room, making it clear that the old neighborhood wasn't just dated, it was driving customers away. And when he came back to watch a full dinner service, things somehow managed to look even worse. Gordon discovered one of the filthiest dining experiences and the most vile kitchens ever shown on Kitchen Nightmares, with grime, clutter, and hygiene issues everywhere he turned. Even the viewers had to pitch in saying, the amount of Resident Evil sludge Gordon touches in these shows, he's gotta be some kind of superhuman. It was so bad that Gordon had to call everyone together and do this.
You have raw chicken and cooked meat. There's a theme here. This place is littered with junk. The chairs are caked in You see that? Who is hoarding all this
We serve that shit.
You use that shit. Why don't you get in there and stop any other tray leaving and shut it down?
With the restaurant shut down, Gordon unloaded on Randy and Alexa. He questioned whether they even cared about the old neighborhood to save it, and pressed them on what, if anything, had they actually done to prepare for his visit, given the shocking state of the place.
We do care.
We care tremendously.
So why didn't you do anything before I got here?
We did. I can't tell you how many hours we cleaned.
How long?
How many hours?
How many days?
5.
Faced with the real possibility of losing everything, Randy and Alexa started doing exactly what they should have done for years: a full deep clean of the kitchen and a massive clear out of all the junk that had been piling up. Gordon was impressed with how much cleaner the kitchen looked, but he decided to take things even further by personally taking it upon himself to turn the restaurant around. The Old Neighborhood Restaurant episode was filmed in July 2013, and it aired on 18th of April 2024. After Gordon's intervention, it was back on the map, with a 3-star rating on Yelp. Most of the reviews applauded Gordon's transformation, with one 4-star review saying, "You can tell that certain touches of decor were all Ramsay." Unfortunately, the building that housed the Old Neighborhood Restaurant was put for sale in 2014, and in May 2018, the restaurant closed its doors. The owners made a post on Facebook saying, "It's official. After 36 years of business, we have sold the restaurant and will be closing our doors on Sunday, May 1st. We want to thank everyone for your continued support and love over the years. Although it'll be a big change in our lives, we are excited to see what the future holds. While Gordon gave the old neighborhood a fighting chance with a massive makeover, he couldn't save this next spot, which unfortunately also had to close down after serving Gordon disgusting food. The Trolley Stop Cafe sits on New Orleans' famous St. Charles Avenue, along the world's oldest continuously operating streetcar line. It is owned by Ragnar, who bought it from his grandfather, who first opened it in 1995, so the business would stay in the family. Since Ragnar took over, business at the Trolley Stop Cafe hasn't been the same.
When I purchased the Trolley Stop Cafe, business started to decline fast.
And most of the staff feel things would improve if Ragnar showed up more often and got better at actually managing the day-to-day operations. His hands-off work ethic wasn't just hurting efficiency, some employees were even and got better at actually managing the day-to-day operations. His hands-off work ethic wasn't just hurting efficiency, some employees were even copying him.
Ragnar is a hands-off owner. He's here maybe once or twice a week.
When it's check time, that's the only time I see Ragnar.
I was calling to see if you were on the way to work. Aaron from the Trolley?
In response to these complaints, Ragnar makes the argument that his work is mainly paperwork and he manages the restaurant from his home office. The Trolley Stop Cafe was featured on 24 Hours to Hell and Back, which has a completely different format from Kitchen Nightmares. So instead of the usual format where restaurant owners invite Gordon, he shows up undercover in a total surprise visit and places an order. After placing his order, the hidden camera set up by Gordon and his crew caught the unsanitary practices in the kitchen. And after waiting for a significant amount of time, Gordon makes this observation.
We've been here 20 minutes now, okay? The owner is nowhere to be seen.
When the food finally came, it was an absolute disaster. The cheese was spoiled.
Can you smell that?
It smells horrible. Yeah, it has a smell.
And Gordon couldn't stomach anything else he was served. After the other members of his team also tried and failed to stomach their food, Gordon immediately instructed them to do this.
Guys, this is some of the most disgusting food I've ever seen. Please don't eat anything else.
Then he takes off his disguise, shuts down the restaurant, and takes everyone outside to discuss the restaurant's many issues and how it's being handled by Ragnar. When Ragnar eventually shows up, Gordon shows footage his team had gathered undercover, showing just how bad things were at the restaurant. After seeing how bad the state of the restaurant was, Ragnar admits his mistakes and apologizes.
Customers telling you.
I'm so sorry.
They need to leave someone else take over.
Oh my God.
Gordon took on the daunting task of helping the Trolley Stop Cafe get back on its feet. He talks to Ragnar.
If you want to run a restaurant, you need to work in it.
Right.
Be part of this team daily, not remotely. That's the only way this is going to work.
Renovates the restaurant and even goes as far as getting new equipment for the kitchen staff.
Great job. Really good. Man, ticket booth. That looks great. Okay, welcome to the Trolley Stop Cafe's new kitchen.
After Gordon's intervention, Ragnar did a better job of being present and managing the restaurant. He kept most of the changes from Gordon, but brought back some things because the customers wanted them back. Unfortunately, the Trolley Stop Cafe closed for good on September 15, 2021, a little over 3 years after Gordon's visit. The restaurant was closed because the building was sold while the restaurant was closed during Hurricane Ida. After Hurricane Ida had passed, the restaurant was still told to cease operations because of the sale of the building. Before its closure, the Trolley Stop Cafe had a Yelp rating of 3.4 stars from over 500 reviews. And customers who visited after Gordon's intervention commended the restaurant, saying, "Prices are good, the service is great, and everyone is friendly." While Ragnar was able to keep his restaurant running for over 3 years by keeping most of the changes Gordon made, the next restaurant was unable to stay open after serving Gordon disgusting food because the owner immediately reverted to their old ways the moment the cameras left. Chappies was a Cajun restaurant owned by Chef John Chappie Chapman and his wife Star. Chappies in Nashville, Tennessee wasn't Chappie's first attempt at running a Cajun restaurant. He and Star had originally opened their first Chappies in Long Beach, Mississippi back in 1984, and it became a big success on the Gulf Coast. The success was cut short in 2005 when Hurricane Katrina destroyed the restaurant, forcing the couple to relocate and start over in Nashville in June 2006. Since opening in Nashville, Chappie has struggled to recreate the success he had in Long Beach, with customers frequently sending their plates back to the kitchen. When Gordon arrived at the restaurant and sat down for a tasting, Chappie served him a chicken and sausage gumbo that was so watery and unappetizing it became infamous among fans of the show. The dish was so bad that Gordon's reaction produced one of Kitchen Nightmare's most quoted lines about how disgusting it looked and tasted.
Wow, it looks like Chappie took a crappie in my gumbo. It's like a puddle. It's just watery.
During dinner service, Chappie made things even harder by cooking fish and red meat together in the same pan, ignoring basic cross-contamination concerns. So Gordon literally brought a customer from the dining room who was actually a pescatarian to prove his point.
Let me explain something really important, because I'm not fucking around now. This lady is a pescatarian, strictly fish. What I'm trying to explain, because you're not listening, is that her fish was cooked in there along with the beef. Do you get sick on meat?
Oh, very.
I'm sorry.
Viewers also noted how unusual his kitchen practice was, with one comment saying, "I hate it when the meat tastes like fish. Usually cooking in the same pan only happens in bad places that are cheap and have a very small kitchen." The deeper Gordon dug into Chappie's kitchen practices, the worse things got. At one point, he even uncovered a tub of mayonnaise that was 3 years past its expiration date, a perfect example of just how careless and unsafe the kitchen had become. One comment read, "Sorry folks, but the health department should have shut him down long before Gordon got there." Gordon was furious and disgusted that the freezer had been left in such a neglected, filthy state for so long. As he laid into Chappie for the shocking lack of care and hygiene, Star immediately rushed to defend her husband, revealing an enabling pattern that likely helped create and reinforce Chappie's stubborn attitude.
You're 1 foot away from that shit down there.
Which he obviously didn't know was down there.
What?
Well, do you think he would have let it stay down there if he knew it was there?
Oh, so he couldn't see it?
Despite the initial pushback, Gordon finally got through to Chappie, who agreed that his restaurant needed to change. Gordon and his team worked overnight to bring the much-needed change that the restaurant needed to fruition. While Star and the other staff members were very impressed, Chappie didn't seem too happy with how it turned out.
It's not my style, but I was just kind of grin, bear it, move on.
After Gordon's intervention, Chappie went back to his old ways in the weeks that followed. He brought back his old menu, his chef's hat, and his temper returned. Chappie also gave several interviews, claiming in those interviews that Gordon Ramsay ruined his business. 4 weeks after the episode was filmed, Chappie claimed that the new food kept his loyal customers away. He also changed the decor for the same reason. Chappie's closed its doors permanently on Tuesday, 18th of June 2013, but before it did, it had a 2.9-star rating on Yelp from 108 reviews. Many of those reviews were mixed, while one customer gave it a 1-star rating, saying, "I'm glad this restaurant's closed. I cannot even begin to want to comprehend the stubbornness and immaturity of the owner Chappie. I hope it's rebuilt and revamped with youth and integrity and a new owner in the future on that land." Another customer gave it 4 stars while commending the service. "The service was also spot on, and I appreciate all of the restaurant's employees who had to come in and work the day after Christmas so I could enjoy a good meal." Chappie blamed the closure of his restaurant on Kitchen Nightmares, saying, "This is a very sad day since we have worked so hard. We shouldn't have done Kitchen Nightmares. We've spent several months struggling to come out of a negative situation." Chappie stubbornly clung to his denial, refusing change and blaming everyone but himself for his restaurant's collapse. Much like this next restaurant, which also had to lock its doors after its owner walked back on the changes that Gordon made. Sebastian's is a neighborhood neighborhood pizzeria owned by Sebastian Di Medica, a part-time actor. He has no formal culinary training and instead relies on what he picked up from his mother, teaching him to cook when he was young to keep the restaurant going. Since purchasing the restaurant 2 years ago, things have not been going well for Sebastian. He has very little patience with his staff, who reveals what to expect when his temper gets going.
This is ridiculous.
When he's get upset, you might see pans flying across the kitchen. Better duck. That's all I have to say.
Sebastian's, he's kind of abrasive at times.
Sometimes the things he says are like, what?
In 1 year, Sebastian has fired 49 people, but his temper was not the only issue. The menu was another problem. While Sebastian calls it a unique menu that nobody has, everyone else, including the staff and customers alike, find it overwhelming. It is so complicated that even the servers cannot confidently say that this is what the restaurant is serving.
We have 23 gourmet flavor combinations.
There's 21 gourmet flavor combinations.
There's 20 gourmet flavor combinations.
If I saw it, I can do it. I mean, because...
No, it's chicken. Let me start over.
Let me look at it real quick.
When Gordon came in, he thought the outside decor was tacky and wasn't impressed with the photos on the menu. However, he sat through a lengthy discourse where Sebastian tried to explain the concept of the menu. Before taking his order, Gordon had asked if the calamari was fresh, and Sebastian claimed that it was. But when the server showed up, her statements were quite different.
Comp that one, I'll take care of that bill, serve that to there. You're running a business.
When the order finally arrived, Gordon wasn't very pleased, but the worst was yet to come. The calamari wasn't just frozen. It was so bad that Gordon made this request.
Can I get you anything? No?
A sick bag.
He asked me for a sick bag.
And when Gordon challenged Sebastian about the lie with the calamari, it all went down to a shouting match. This would be the pattern for the rest of the episode. Gordon tries to help the restaurant by simplifying the menu, and Sebastian would not be fine with it.
What needs to happen here? Big change. We will have a new menu. Are you all right?
No, the photos isn't the thing that I'm concerned of. It's just, it's the change I was scared of.
And in the middle of relaunch night, while the new menu was working fine, Sebastian decided to revert to the old menu, causing confusion in the kitchen.
So far, everybody really likes the new menu. It's really nice.
I love the new menu, but the original concept of Sebastian's with the 20 flavor combinations, I'll never lose that.
Okay, this is what happened. It goes 9. No, yes, it is 9, 10, 11.
Gordon was so upset and disappointed with this move that he called Sebastian aside and gave him a talking to.
I'm 40 years of age, and I've gone to a lot of restaurants, but I've never, ever met someone I believe in as little as you.
Gordon considered the relaunch night a success, but as soon as he left, Sebastian made sure the old menu was reinstated. He stuck to that confusing menu. On Yelp, Sebastian had a 2.9 rating from only 15 reviews. And reviews have left comments about the menu and quality of food, saying the menu was more difficult than it needed to be to order a shrimp salad. Some of the shrimps were burnt around the edges. In January 2008, Sebastian's closed its doors for good. Sebastian sent an email to his customers saying that he would be moving back to Boston for family reasons. Just as Sebastian's closed its doors due to its owner's unwillingness to change, the next establishment met the same fate, though under much more hostile circumstances. Right from the start, it was clear to see that Dillon's was unsanitary. Dillon's was supposed to be this wild fusion of American, Irish, and even Indian flavors all blended together on one menu, but instead it nailed none of them. The operations manager was straight up shocked that the place was still open at all, given how badly things had spiraled.
It's hard for me to believe that Dillon's has lasted this long. We kind of lurch between catastrophe and disaster.
The owner, Muhammad Islam, had opened Dillon's to build a new life for his family in America. He even hired a general manager and 2 other managers to keep the restaurant running smoothly, but even with all that help, the place was still a total disaster. Each manager had their own quirks dragging the place down.
I don't like to work
work here because everything's so messed up.
I think in an ideal world, Martin would be an ongoing character in a reality TV series.
Despite the trio of managers, Dillon's remained a filthy disaster, with flies swarming everywhere in the dining room. Customers constantly swatted them away while waiting endlessly for their orders. The infestation was so bad that Gordon Ramsay noted it immediately upon arrival. When he got his food, his vegetarian appetizer had meat in it, and his main meal was served alongside a dirty plate.
There's meat in there. That one's got meat in there. It's not vegetarian. It tastes like lamb. Lamb burrito.
And she's bringing a plate for you.
Thanks, darling. Would you mind getting me a clean one, please? Sorry.
And instead of being served beef like he ordered, he was served something entirely different.
That is not a piece of beef. Does that look like a piece of beef to you, my darling? It's dry.
It looks like pork.
And if that's beef, then, hey, I was born in Bangladesh.
That lamb is probably the old lamb.
You serve me old lamb?
During dinner service at Dillon's, Gordon quickly spotted the total disarray and zero leadership from General Manager Martin. He immediately summoned Martin over and tore into him without hesitation, calling out his incompetence for lounging in booths, being on his phone, and failing to manage staff or orders. The most appalling moment in this episode came when Gordon had a look in the kitchen. What he found was one of the most stomach-churning moments in the show's history. It was so bad that Gordon immediately did this.
We are not ever again serving any of this food. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Can you go and tell them that the kitchen is closed?
Gordon launches a full-scale reset at Dillon's. He has the kitchen professionally deep-cleaned, scraped the muddled menu, and rebuilt it as a strictly modern Indian concept. He then brings in Vikas Khanna, one of New York City's top Indian chefs, to lead and train the kitchen, while the dining room gets a complete makeover and a new name, Purnima, meaning full moon. Before leaving, Gordon pulled Muhammad aside and told him plainly that out of the three managers, Martin is the one who needed to go. Martin overheard the conversation, defended himself, and decided to do this.
You're staying now. Why
This is
telling
my
me?
last tonight.
Okay, please tell the owner, not me.
This is my last night. I'm out of here. I quit.
1 year after his intervention, Gordon revisits Dillon's to find everything was still running smoothly and the kitchen was running clean. However, 2 years after the episode aired, the restaurant closed its doors. The owner, Muhammad Islam, filed a lawsuit, claiming that the skyscraper construction taking place behind Dillon's caused significant damage to the restaurant and drove diners away. The suit also alleged that the building owner failed to properly maintain the structure, which led to pest infestations and other defects. The restaurant had a rating of 2.5 stars on Yelp from just 6 reviews. However, after Dillon's closure, the old location is now occupied by an establishment called the Grizzly Pear.